Hello everyone, welcome back to Edible Abundance Homestead. It is June 12th. I haven't taken a video in 11 days. We have just been going. So busy, getting a lot done. And I come out here and I think, oh, I'll take a quick video and show this or that or the other thing. And then I see something that just needs my attention and I take care of that instead. So hopefully this won't take an hour to film because so much has changed and so much has happened. My toddler has figured out how to turn on the hose and is now filling his water table himself. So we'll see when that pulls me away. But anyway, so I tilled in the alpaca manure and I planted corn. Let's go in here. I planted 4 rows of corn. This is maybe a week ago, and you can see right here, that's corn. I put little popsicle sticks next to each one because corn is a grass, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to tell what was corn and what was like grass that was a weed, so I put popsicle sticks next to each corn plant. Sometime probably like next week, I'll plant bean plants mixed in here, and then I think it says to wait another week or 2 weeks after that to plant whatever squash you use. I'm gonna have to think about that because this was kind of late to begin with, so I might not want to wait that long, so we'll see. And I'm still debating which I'm gonna plant anyway, if I'm gonna dare to plant pumpkins or not. So anyway, so that's like the big exciting garden planting thing. I have also planted a few more things. Those are a ground cherry and a couple of jalapeno peppers. Just leave it on, please. Just leave it on. Just leave it on, please. Thank you. I don't really like jalapenos all that much, but I really want to can my own salsa this year, and it seems silly to buy jalapenos at the store to make salsa from my tomatoes, and almost everything in it is going to be from my garden. I mean, except for like the onions and stuff. I don't grow onions right now. Jalapeno plants grow pretty easily, so hopefully they grow easily. Usually, I've grown them once before and they did really well. As you can see back here, some of my pea plants are starting to wind down. They've lasted quite a bit longer than I expected. I thought once it started to get hot, like we had a solid week in about the 80s, and I thought that would knock them out. But most of them are still doing quite well and producing. The cucumbers are started to head up the trellis here. I've never grown them on a trellis before, so I didn't really realize how much training it took. I kind of thought they'd be like the peas and just do it themselves, but they definitely need more training. But yeah, I still have tons of peas. Actually, I'm gonna probably pick these for dinner tonight because some of those are getting a little big. We had them for dinner maybe 2 or 3 nights ago. They're growing fast. I've got some beautiful radishes gone to seed here that I'm just leaving. My back behind here, there's just so much has happened, so much has changed. Back behind here, I have scapes on my garlic, so I need to go through and harvest my garlic scapes. Oh, and I just happened to glance over here, and there's a rabbit hanging out over there, eating some clover. Probably we have a lot of clover in our yard, so the bunnies really like our yard. So yes, I need to harvest that. Do something with those scapes. I need to find some recipes or maybe some pesto or something, and then freeze it with the garlic scapes, because that's more than I would be able to eat at one go. So this is really exciting for me because look at that broccoli. I've grown broccoli probably 3 times and never had more than like a teeny little stalk. And I have like a whole head, and my kids like broccoli. That's one of the things that they like, and I've been trying to grow it, and it just never did well. And I finally have, there's actually 2 here, that one, and then there's that one. And there's one other that's not doing so well, but I mean, fingers crossed. It's supposed to actually cool off here again. It's nice today. I mean, it's like 80 degrees, but there's a cool breeze, and I just actually got a weather update on my phone that said that heavy rain is coming, so I need to tie up my tomato plants a bit better. That's next on my agenda. And it's going to bring cooler weather, and I feel like it's been relatively cool for this time of the year, but you know, it's been nice working outside weather, which is great because that's what I've been doing. So we're just going to walk along the garden here, and let's see. So here's tomatoes growing like crazy, approaching the top of my cattle panels. I've got basil planted in between. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. So that is just Genovese basil planted in between. And then over here I have, just walk you down here, that's cinnamon basil. It's amazing how cinnamony it is. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it was a free seed pack from Baker Creek, and I was like, we'll try it, we'll see what happens. It smells amazing, but I just don't know what to do with it, so I'm going to have to figure that out. So I have baby tomatoes, not ready, not even starting to look a little bit blushed yet, but it's exciting because they're there. Same with squash. I have little squash growing. Pretty much everything has flowers. I harvested 2 dragon's tongue beans. They have flowers on them, but for some reason there were just 2 beans, ready, and nothing else. So I just grabbed them. Yeah, everything has babies on it right now. It's super exciting. So I've never grown flowers before this year. And these zinnias, I'm just gonna walk along here. These zinnias are making me really happy. I'm not a real big flower person. I want my garden to feed us more than anything. And then I also have these, I'll go down here to one that has a lot on it. These are bachelor's buttons that our homeschool group planted one year. Oh, look, and there's a lovely bee on it. They're making me happier than I expected them to. Because I'm a very utilitarian person. Like, I want to grow things with a purpose. And beauty is a purpose, but it's just not one I'm really super concerned about in my garden. But they're making me very, very happy. And they make my kids really happy, which is nice. And we've picked a few to put in a little vase on our table, and that's just really sweet when my 4-year-old comes out to pick flowers for the table. So I like it. I'm seeing baby watermelons on that watermelon plant. So as you can see from the weeding situation, okay, so here's where I've weeded. I've weeded around the tomatoes, and I hand mowed with the push mower a bunch of the lawn because our push mower has a bag on it. So I put grass clippings down for mulch between the tomatoes. I need to do a bit more. I just didn't have time. The rest of our lawn, usually our lawn is, the main part of our lawn gets mowed with a riding lawnmower. We don't have bags for that. So I did a lot of push mowing to save mulch for the tomatoes because that's how much I love them. And that's how expensive and hard to get straw has been around here. But anyway, as you can see, the lovely area that's been weeded. This area, lovely, weeded. And then you look over there and you can see kind of where the line was when I was weeding. That's as far as I got. It's a lot, and trying to keep up with it's tough. If I can spend an uninterrupted hour out here a day, I consider that a huge win, and I can get a decent amount of weeding done in that time. It's not enough, and it doesn't always happen, as you can probably hear from my backyard, because my toddler just got wet with the hose, and he wanted the hose and he wanted the water. He didn't want to get wet though, that sort of thing. Because over here I have okra. In amongst those weeds is okra. In amongst those weeds is okra. This area needs some serious attention. I'm getting there. I'm pretty happy with how I'm keeping up, because believe me, this year at this time, the whole garden was a weedy mess the way this side is. And I feel like I've kept up pretty well this year. So last year our biggest failure was eggplants because flea beetles killed them all. Look at this. It's got a little bit of holes in it. I mean, they're here. I haven't sprayed anything on these yet. I keep saying I'm going to and then not doing it. They all have some little holes, but aside from one died, it was a really tiny plant to begin with. It probably wasn't ready to be planted out, but I wanted to do them all in one shot. They're doing pretty well. I'll probably maybe try to replace one and maybe add a couple more because I think I have space for one or two more with just some plants from my neighbor's greenhouse. We'll see. But I'm pretty happy with the way the eggplants are growing. The peppers are looking pretty good. There's peppers over there. I wish I had more mulch for them. I'll have to work on that. But yeah, and then getting down, actually, I'm like crouched down on this level and I'm looking over and I can see the little rows of corn, and that's making me really happy too. So yes, everything's growing like crazy. I tied up and pruned tomatoes a couple days ago. I came out in the morning not intending to work in the garden, and it was like 30 minutes later, I was up to my elbows in tomatoes, pruning and tying. I might have gotten a little carried away with some pruning. I think I might have accidentally cut the top off of one of them, which will stop it from growing, but I stuck it in the dirt. I didn't really even check to see if it had survived, if the part that I cut off would grow, but we'll see. The other huge news, the meat chickens are gone. While my parents were visiting, my dad and I butchered them while my mom watched the kids. It went really well. It went really fast. So I ended up, the day before butchering day, one of them just dropped dead in the middle of their little area, which is always disheartening. So I had 13 of the Cornish cross, and then I did 3 roosters. I did the big rooster who'd been attacking me. I did 2 roosters that I got in my February chick order because I had more than I needed. So now there's 1 young rooster left in there, so hopefully he'll be nice. We'll see how he does. So that's huge. Now I still have, my dad also did some repairs on my broken chicken coop. I still have the hen with the injured head and the Polish chick, who is now alone because her little buddy kept escaping, and I think it just escaped one time too many and a fox got it. But anyway, those 2 are still in their own separate area. I'm planning to really let that hen's head heal completely, like not a scab left, nothing left, because she's giving me 5 or 6 eggs a week. So the thought of culling her, I can't bring myself to do it because she's young and she's laying really well, and if I just give her a little more time in there, hopefully she'll heal up completely, and then I can put her back in with the big ones. And I was also hoping to, with the rooster gone, I was kind of hoping it would shake up the pecking order a little bit. Some of the ones that were getting picked on, I'm hoping aren't getting picked on so badly anymore. They're still not all sleeping on the roost. Some nights they all sleep on the roost like they're supposed to, and some nights the younger group doesn't. They sleep on my feed bins, which is super annoying because then there's poop all over my feed bins. But anyway, I'm hoping that'll kind of work itself out. So yeah, that's been it. We had a dance recital, so now that's over, and that was a huge time suck here at the end because my older daughter's in extra classes and was doing all kinds of extra stuff. So and it sounds like my time is up by the toddler alarm clock. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looking good. Super excited. Thank you so much for watching.